There's going to be no funny intro, there's going to be no funny Moogie sweatshirt wearing this video. This is a 100% completely serious video. Not only is this convention being ran by a website that has absolutely no idea what they're doing, but are also out of touch with their own user base. Not only that, but tons of people's human rights have been violated due to this convention as well. The only thing humorous about this whatsoever is just the timing of all of this. And what I mean by that is that Twitch has been having a really bad rep as of recently when it comes to different people coming out as bad people on Twitch, not who they were supposed to be. Also just Twitch themselves making some very questionable decisions, from cutting people's pay to then also giving people unfair bans when other people do the same thing. The website itself has been becoming a joke as of recently, and this convention coming up could have not come up at a more perfect time. I feel like a lot of people still show up to TwitchCon after all of this has happened just because of the fact that, oh, we got these like a while ago, we're just gonna come anyways and try to have a good time. Because I feel like with TwitchCon you go there for really two purposes, and those purposes being to meet your favorite Twitch streamers, getting pictures with them, getting to talk with them, you know, it's a pretty magical moment with that. Another one is also being able to meet up with your friends, some of which you may have never met before in your life, and you guys are all online friends wanting to meet up at a convention like this because, well, maybe you all met because of Twitch. And that's why I also want to state right now that if you went to TwitchCon and you had a good time, I'm really glad you did. And I'm really glad you were able to make memories of it. And the thing with a lot of these convention problems and also all these things happening at conventions is that a lot of people don't see it or never even really hear about it because they're too busy in the moment with their own lives at the convention. I feel like it's kind of a normal thing when it comes to conventions especially. But this one is a lot more different in my opinion. A lot of people at this convention got hurt in more ways than others. People of all genders, race, or even disabled being mistreated. People at the convention being harassed, whether it be just regular attendees, Twitch streamers, the staff at TwitchCon, or even security themselves. And just to name a few, one of the biggest ones that's been talked about and one of the biggest ones that's been memed on as of recently is the TwitchCon foam pit. There was a foam pit at the convention where you can do foam pit sword fighting, and whoever loses is the one who falls into the foam pit. There was one streamer who decided to jump right into it, and then they ended up breaking their back in 2 different places.
Great victory there.
She had to go to the hospital and get surgery for this. That's how bad this was, and this is something that can change someone's life forever. Because once you get back problems or you hurt your back really bad, it is really hard for it to heal, or it just takes a really long time for it to heal to the point where it'll just be suffering and it'll make your life just so much harder. And to be fair, this is not Twitch's fault entirely. This was done by a third party at the convention who set this up. But they are still partially to blame for this also because they were also responsible for at least checking out everything to make sure everything was safe. Because the Twitch foam pit itself was only like 2 feet, if not like 1.5 feet deep only. And that is not safe for a foam pit. It should at least be 8 feet, if not 10 feet deep, in my opinion. But what do I know? It seems that Twitch thinks they know more than I do. But it's not only that, the attendees are also to blame for this somewhat. Not everybody, but some. A small number of people can make it look bad for everybody else, and that is just the worst part about it. A lot of people were mistreating the staff at TwitchCon, whether it be the Twitch staff members, but more importantly, also the security themselves. A lot of these people are probably not as social as others and probably haven't gone outside as much as others. That's why they probably talk to people differently like that, to where they mistreat them and think, oh, this is perfectly fine, I can talk to this person this way, when it is entirely not right and it is super wrong of them to do in the first place. Not only that, but they've been also mistreating the people that they're attending with, whether it be people who are disabled or in wheelchairs and cannot move around as much, or maybe just people who are more socially awkward, maybe people who are more shy. What I mean by this is that there were large crowds of people at times to where people would have panic attacks because there were too many people around. There would be people who would not be able to get to places as easy, or people not be able to get to places at all because of the fact that they are disabled in a wheelchair, and people are shoving them out of the way or trying to move them out of the way, or trying to just like take advantage of the fact that they can move faster or they can get around places easier than them. This also goes towards the Twitch streamers who attended this place, especially the really big ones, whether it be them stealing items from them without them looking, for them dressing inappropriately in front of them, doing inappropriate acts towards them. and also saying things to them that were out of line, or just things that aren't socially acceptable at all, really. That's why this also goes back to the Twitch staff. A lot of the Twitch staff did not try to stop this whatsoever, any of this at all, really. There was no real leadership when it came to the Twitch staff and them trying to help run this convention. There are even times where big female Twitch streamers not even have staff or even security with them when it came to escorting them. This ended with people swarming them. But with so much of this and so many of these problems, there's just one big lawsuit just waiting to happen, especially with the Twitch foam pit. There are also just smaller things that just also affected this, like for example that there have been people in the convention that should probably not be there, whether it be certain people attending the convention who are just regular attendees who have been harassing people and should have been kicked out but weren't. Also other Twitch streamers who have been involved with allegations that involve serious crimes, and also just Twitch themselves, really. There was even a few moments within the convention where we even got to hear from the higher ups of Twitch talking about certain topics within their company, and also people asking the really hard-hitting questions. In this example here, somebody asked them, hey, why is it that I get banned for doing something but this streamer does the same thing and doesn't get banned for as long?
I know this isn't your team, but I think the community would be interested to hear more about how Twitch gives one streamer a long suspension but not another who does the same thing. How does it seem like Twitch applies the rules unfairly?
Yeah, again, more myths busted. So we apply our rules very consistently.
And just from that clip alone, you can just tell that how out of touch they are, and also just the fact that they're so ignorant to the issue to the where they don't even want to talk about it. This is some like open secret at Twitch themselves that they know, but they don't want to ever address it because they know how bad it would already make them look. But not only that, it's also just insulting just to hear, because for years this has been an issue that has been recognized and there is evidence to back this up too. But yet they just want to say, oh yeah, that's just a myth. You guys don't know anything that we do. We're right and you're wrong, and guess what? We're gonna keep doing it and you can't do anything about it. Which once again, super insulting, not only to the people that help your website and also watch the Twitch streamers on there, but also just an insult to the people who work for your company in terms of them either being in the company themselves, but also the people who stream on your website, especially the big Twitch streamers who probably give you a lot of the money that you have right now. I also know this because there's even been times where even the people at the Twitchcon, big Twitch streamers who were able to talk with the president of Twitch and said that they did not feel comfortable being on this website because of how out of touch they sound and how incompetent they are in what they're doing. TwitchCon has been such a big eye-opener, not only towards the fact that Twitch themselves is not a very competent website, but they're also incompetent in running a convention. And ever since then, people have been starting to do a boycott for this convention, and definitely sounds like there will probably be a lot less people going, if there even is going to be a TwitchCon next year in the first place. Because I got a feeling within the next few months we are going to hear about lawsuits that are going to be happening. There is going to be even more drama and probably more allegations towards TwitchCon themselves. There will probably be a lot more people speaking out. I know there's already been that already in the first place of people being assaulted or just having sexual harassment done on them. I got a feeling we're going to be hearing a lot more of that within the next few weeks to few months. Overall, while Twitch is not in the complete blame for this, third parties are also responsible for a lot of things that also did happen within this convention, the people who attended the convention. Not only that, but also just a mix of really bad timing with everything going on in Twitch itself. But still, Twitch is still to blame for a lot of this, and they should be held responsible. And the fact that they still have not even really made an official statement about all of this shows just how much that they really don't care. If you really want me to prove it, then let me just tell you this right now. They are doing more damage control than anything. And to prove it, just look at this tweet right here. This tweet right here just kind of shows just how much they were trying to do damage control at the time, because when this tweet was made, somebody broke their back and caused permanent damage to their body. And they said nothing about it. They didn't shut down the booth at all either. They just wanted to ignore it and post your favorite streamer being wholesome. Take of that as you will.